Hey everyone, it's Tracy Woodard of Faith Fam Fabulosity. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So if you follow me at all on Instagram, Facebook, or here, you'd find that I mainly talk about makeup, inspirational stuff, Jesus, all of the wondrous things in life. But today I wanted to do something just a little bit different, just to spice it up. So I wanted to talk about my first trip to Miami. Why? Because the weather is just so beautiful here. It's very tropical and it's making me reminisce about some really glorious times in my childhood. So yes, I want to talk to you today about my first trip to Miami. So check it out. I was about 18 years old. Me and a group of friends decided we were going to go to Miami and live it up. We actually decided this one night over dinner, and we quickly got to making the arrangements. We booked the flights, we got the hotel, booked the car rental. It was on. We couldn't wait. Well, look, we got to Miami. We landed, we got to the car rental place, and to our great surprise, the Suburban that we had rented was not available. We were so angry, like, how could this be happening? Our first trip to this glorious place. I mean, we were trying to live it up. What do you mean the car that we've rented is not available? So suffice it to say, we began arguing with a number of the agents, to no avail, of course. The car wasn't available, so we had to, unfortunately, take what was available. And at that time, it was a Chevy Impala. Oh my gosh, we were so annoyed. How could we be driving a Chevy Impala in South Beach? How? But anyway, we decided we weren't going to let that ruin our weekend. Besides, they told us that the next day the Suburban would be available. So we were like, we're going to go out, we're going to live it up, we're going to do it up, we're going to do it real big. The car won't even matter. We get to our hotel room, we decided we were going to get dressed really quickly so we can get out on the town, find the hottest spot, and just have a great night. So we all got dressed, went out, and then I said, you know what, let's ask someone in the street. We didn't want to ask anyone at the hotel or go online. We wanted to find out from someone who was actually dressed up in the street. Looked like they were on their way to the hot party, where the hot party was. So that's what we did. We're driving around, we're driving down Collins, we're driving down Ocean, and we started seeing all of these females, like lots of females just scattered, dressed up really nice, really impeccably. So we're like, okay, let's ask one of these chicks where the club is, where the hot spot is. So we're driving down, driving down Ocean, honking the horn, yelling out, hey, where's the party? Nothing. Zero, zilch, no response whatsoever. Initially, we didn't think anything of it. We were like, oh, yes, noisy out here, a lot of outside bars and clubs and whatever. They can't hear us. So we continue driving, continue honking. Every time we saw a group of girls, hey, where's the party? Where's the hot spot at? Nothing. So after a while, we started getting very frustrated, all of us, because we're like, I mean, are these people deaf? Is everyone here crazy? Like, what is happening? Why is everyone ignoring us? So finally, the guy that we were with, he says, you know what, let me just get out. Let me get out and approach someone and ask them. It'll be easier. So we're like, cool. We pull over, where this group of girls were walking, and he proceeds to approach them, and he's like, hey, excuse me. And one of the ladies turns around, and when she turns back, she just takes off running. I mean, she's in a mini dress, she's in stilettos, 6 inches maybe, takes off running. So initially, he just starts running behind her, but then we're all laughing so hard. Me and my girls in the car just cracking up. He's laughing, so he just stopped, and he just like kind of threw up his hand. So he gets back in the car. We're like, what is really going on in South Beach? So all of a sudden, there was like this aha moment that happened. We realized at the same time that these women were not your average woman. They were working girls. They were prostitutes. And because we were driving in this Chevy Impala, they thought we were undercover police. Could you imagine? Undercover detectives. So the moment we all got this revelation, if you will, we took it and ran with it. I mean, we were crazy. We were from Brooklyn, just insane, out of our minds, but in a good way. So we decided this is where the hot spot was. Forget a club. We were going to get into full character and start making arrests. So we started, continue driving down the street, and every time we saw a group of girls, we would we would jump out of the car, and pretend, that we were actual police officers. They were thinking it initially, but now we knew that they were thinking it, and so we were taking advantage of it. So, just as a means to, bump it up and make it even more fun, I was like, what we need to do? Because I was like kind of obsessed with like New York Undercover and a couple of cop shows, SVU. I was like, let's roll up on the sidewalks, jump out at the same time, have these doors flying. Let's just really make it crazy, make it real. So that's what we did. And the more we did it, the more we got into it. And we were just chasing. We were chasing these girls. They had their heels in their bags in their hand. They're running, and we're running behind them. And then the guy, he ends up jumping over bushes. It got to a point in the night where we were literally arresting these girls. We had them on the ground, feet in their back, arms pinned behind their back, making false arrests. It was glorious. One of the best times of my life. We had so much fun that weekend. We weren't even thinking about a party. So we were just so excited. We decided we were going to do this the whole weekend. This is what we came to Miami for. Again, forget a club. We're police officers. So as a means to really get into the role, we decided to go to a few drugstores looking for, those badges that cops wear with their ID in it. We were on a wild goose chase looking for these things. Unfortunately, we never found them, but we got over it. We were like, you know what, we got to get to work. Forget about these badges. Not every cop has a badge. So we got back in the streets. It was Valentine's weekend, to be exact, in South Beach. We cleaned the streets up. We were just riding up and down, mainly Ocean, but sometimes College, but mainly Ocean, just terrorizing these girls. Terrorizing. We didn't hurt anyone, so I don't want you to think we hurt anyone. It was all in fun, good fun. But yeah, we did make quite a number of false arrests, and by the time the weekend was over, the streets of Miami were clean. They were clear. They were completely prostitute free. It was amazing. Well, one unamazing thing happened. Well, I know unamazing isn't a word, but work with me here. So I think it was the third night. We're in full character, about to make some arrests, and we actually get pulled over by the cops. So they said to us, listen, we know what you're doing. We've been watching you guys, and it's not funny. We don't need your help, and if you continue doing this, you're going to be in jail yourselves. Well, needless to say, that ended our cop career. So we gave it up, but it was just such an amazing time in history, a time in my life. Miami was just, it was never the same. It was far more amazing than I could have ever imagined. And I've been there many times since that time, but it's never been the same. So guys, that was the story about my first time in Miami. And again, what a glorious time. Don't forget to like this story, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, I'd love to know what your experience was like in Miami, your first experience. So feel free to drop it in the comment section below, and let's stay in touch.